everybody, I'm Laura Harris-Smith. Welcome to today's Daily Pin Code. I've already designated one other VCast to a topic called This Sunday's Homework, in which we dealt with what kind of attitude you're going to take into your church service that coming Sunday. Now, last time's dealt with worship, and this time's is going to deal with the topic of giving. Now, I am fully aware that the last thing to get saved is a man's wallet, but maybe today is the day of salvation. Now, I know that this goes out to a wide audience. Some of you don't even go to church. Some of you haven't been to church in a long time. Some of you aren't even sure if you even want to step foot in one. Let me just say this. If you fall into that demographic of people who say, well, I am a Christian, I just don't get into the whole organized religion thing. Can I tell you, that is like so 80s, maybe even 70s. The 70s were just the me and Jesus movement. The 80s were, church is full of hypocrites, organized religion has failed. And then the 90s were sort of the period of, well, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. You know what? Why not be a part of the new thing that God is doing, which is to go into your local church, and even be a light inside the church on how to become relevant to a society that needs us. So with that said, your local church needs you. You have gifts that nobody else has that you need to be imparting to other people. Yeah, you need God, but guess what? God needs you. So, I know that if you were going into the gym a couple of times a week, you wouldn't have any problem laying down some cash for that. If you were going to go see a motivational speaker or hire one of these, what do they call them, life coaches, now you wouldn't have any problem forking over some dough for that. But for some reason, we have a very hard time thinking that we need to give to our local churches, even though they are doing great things in the community. They should be, even though they are paying clergy who, trust me, need to eat and have children who need to eat. You have some generosity in your heart that you need to just expand and get outside of your little world and think about other people who need you. It's funny because the very first service that we ever did at our church, we founded this church in 2005, and we forgot to buy offering plates. And so we had done this funny little artsy presentation that night using top hats. So we literally just used those. We passed the hat, and we're still passing the hat, those same funny top hats 4 years later. But 2 Corinthians 9:7 says that God loves a cheerful giver. And so somehow in one service a long time ago, we said that, and ever since then, when we say we're going to take an offering, everybody applauds. Both Matthew and Luke record Jesus as saying, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." So if you think about it, wherever you're giving your money, that's where your heart's going to be. If you're having a hard time investing in your local church, you don't have a church problem, you have a God problem. Because God is the one who invented giving. If you were to invest in stocks, you're going to be up every morning online asking Chuck what's going on with your stocks. So it's the same thing when you give into your local church. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be. So if you're having a hard time getting your heart into attending a local church, you plug in there and start giving and watch what happens to yourself. Be a part of something bigger. When they pass the offering plate this week at your church, stand up and applaud and laugh out loud. Say, that crazy pin code lady told me to do it.